Hey everyone, and welcome back to In a Pinch. I'm Chris, and today we're talking about Mustang Original Portion. So this is the latest in a series of co-reviews I'm doing with Puff and Snuff. So far we've done Lenny's Stark White and Odin's Original Portion. Now we move on to Mustang. Now we finally got to one. The first two that we did I had already had before we did the review, so I already had opinions. This one I'm coming in fresh. I have never had this. This is an unsealed tin. I ordered two on my order and sent one of them to the Puff and Snuff. So this is brand new to me. The price, I don't remember how cheap it was, but it was extremely cheap, like rock bottom cheap. It was one of the cheapest snoozes that I've seen sold of any brand, and it's made by Swedish Match, so I'm assuming that it has to be at least kind of good. I haven't had anything by Swedish Match that I didn't like yet. I've had a lot that I thought weren't quite what the hype made them out to be, but I haven't had any that weren't good. So the can, as you can see, it's a very generic, not a whole lot going on can. It kind of reminds me of like a Lucky Strikes logo, but inverted. Yeah, the Swedish Match Svensk Snus got the 3 stars up top, Mustang Original, red ball in the middle, going around the can, pretty much the same thing. Got your Coffee Attack quality standard and Mustang logo, original Mustang, and the dreaded Snus 24 sticker that I'm not even going to attempt to remove because I can't get the Snus 24 stickers off the tins without ruining them. And then on the back you got the missing tin. On the back you got the standard may as well be an American warning label, and at the bottom got the Tech Quality Standard and the best before date, which I hadn't even looked at yet. January of next year, so still good for a while. Go ahead and crack the tin. Oh, and it's Swedish Match tin, so you got a full-size catch lid there. It does snap in nice. I was talking in the Lenny's Stark White video about how one of the things that really bothered me was the catch lid never like sealed in. It was always moving around, which I'm OCD, and in the back of my head I kept worrying that it was going to fall open in my pocket. Anyways, opening the tin. Alright, if you look at them, they're medium moisture for original portions. They are a little bit bigger, just a little bit wider than other original portions. If I remember right, I think they actually add an extra 1/10 of a gram, so these are 1.1 grams, but as I'm going through the can, I'll go back and look at the product description again so I can get the numbers, the nicotine, and the weights and whatnot for you, but it looks bigger, it feels bigger too. You got, we'll count them. I can already tell you it's 20, 2, 4, 6, oops, drop them, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Alright, got 22 portions. The smell, oh, that's actually really good. How do you describe that? So it's spicy dark tobacco. It's similar to Grove, but more tarmacy, and that's a term that I haven't used to describe snus yet. It's a term that I use to describe some of my favorite snuffs. But yeah, tarmacy, peppery. Alright, I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna go ahead and plump one up and pop it in. Definitely a big portion. Alright, so like I said, I had 1 tin of this, so I'm going to be I'm going to give myself enough time to form a fair judgment, and I'll come back when I go through the entire tin, hopefully this weekend, and tell you what I think of it. Alright, we're back. I popped the last portion in just a few minutes ago, letting that do its thing. I was watching the first half of the video before I started recording again, in case there's anything I need to recap on or anything like that. And I noticed it's more noticeable in the camera how this side of my beard and this side of my beard are growing in at very different speeds. I started growing it back in July. I stopped shaving the day that our son was born. So this is totally an experiment. I've worn the goat off and on for years, but I never did try to grow a full beard. So people told me to be patient with it, but it's going to look kind of funny along the way. So hope you guys don't mind. And it is. All right. So anyways, so Mustang in the mouth. This is good stuff, guys. I will definitely be ordering it again. Going into the mouth, the moisture level kind of falls between your traditional original portion and your traditional white portion, or definitely not white, but going into the mouth, it does take a good few minutes before any flavor at all really pops up. Once it starts, which, you know, like I said, it's a good few minutes in, 5 minutes in, before it tastes like you have snooze in your mouth. The first things that you get are like a spicy dark tobacco, salt, and some smoke. Shortly following that, you start getting different fruit notes, and I don't want to mislead you. This is not a fruity snooze. The fruit notes kind of have that same like dried berry flavor that Rhoda Lockett does. So with that, it's not a flavoring added, I don't believe. It's something in the base tobacco. But there's also some kind of a citrus going on, and I want to call it bergamot, but I can't positively identify it as bergamot. But whatever it is, it's very much in the background. And while there is some kind of a citrus to this, it's still I would definitely put this solid in the tobacco-centric snoozes. One big downside to this, about 30 minutes in, the flavor does just fall off, at least for me. It was building in intensity, especially with the spice, building in intensity, and then it just kind of goes dead. You can chew on the portion a little bit once it goes dead, and you'll kind of revive it a little bit, but you're kind of kicking a dead horse. That said, for the price, it's a really great snooze, and I'd be interested. I will be trying the Mustang in loose, because I suspect this is one of those that will actually be better and fuller in flavor as a loose. I did go ahead and look up some stats on this stuff. They're 1 gram portions, but they feel really full, and I'm not just comparing it with the general portions, which come out at 0.8. It really feels bigger than 1 gram. It feels like I baked a small Prilla and stuck it in my lip, which is good for me. I like to feel my tobacco. If you like a more discreet feeling portion, you're not going to like this, because it is plump. Nicotine is at 1%, which means 10 milligrams per gram, which on paper is higher than most original portions, which float between 0.8 and 0.9. But it doesn't feel like a strong snooze. You get your satisfaction from it if you're satisfied with original portions, something in the 0.8 milligram category. This hits you about like those two. The tarmac that I smelled in the tin, I don't taste anything like that. It kind of just falls apart into spice and smoke. People describe tasting a number of things in this that I don't taste, but there's a lot of things that I could see people interpreting as tasting. Like some people mention licorice, and I love licorice. I get no licorice at all out of this. Some people mention a strong citrus, and I don't get that. I do know that some snoozes, and I've noticed it in a couple of the Swedish Match lines, that from batch to batch they can be a little bit inconsistent. So if I were to order another can of this in a month, um, from any of the sites that I order from, I may get an entirely different product. But what I have in my mouth right now, the citrus is just barely there. It's really in the background. I can't positively identify it as anything specific. That's how in the background it is. It is there, and it kind of lends a natural sweetness, brightness, a natural brightness to it. And then there is that dried berry flavor that you get with Rhoda Locket, which tells me that it's something in the base tobacco. It's not an added flavor. All in all, it's not a big jump out at you. This is a culinary masterpiece snooze. But for an all day, especially for the price, I'll definitely be ordering it again. I'd like to try it in white portion, and I definitely intend to try it in loose. Actually, the reason I ordered this in the first place was Joseph McKenna mentioned in one of the comments that he was using some Mustang loose, and said that I should try it, that he thought I'd like it, and for whatever reason, I ended up ordering the portions instead. But I'll definitely be ordering at least a couple of cans of the loose on the next order. So that's all I got, guys. This tonight, what time is it? Look at my computer here. It is almost 20 to 4 out by me here in north central Illinois. Got a few hours before the first pitch in Game 4 of the World Series between the Cubs and the Indians. And want to give a shout out to Puff and Snub. I know you're a diehard Cubs fan. I've been a Cubs fan since I was 9. My dad actually, and this sounds like cliche, like out of an episode of Andy Griffith, but my dad got me a part-time job when I was 8 or 9. Sweeping hair and cleaning up around this barber shop, and John was the guy who owned the shop. John, he was a diehard Cubs fan, and if there's a Cubs game on, it was always on the TV. And that particular summer was the year that the whole Sosa McGuire thing was going on, and it got me really excited about baseball. And I've been a Cubs fan since then. You guys have a great night. God bless, and salud.